Hi, my name is Shino Nakamichi, and in today's video, we're gonna talk monologues and how to film the perfect one with just your phone. Just as a heads up, I am going to be switching between my phone and my camera throughout this video. But anyways, let's get into it. Monologues by definition are a long uninterrupted speech delivered by one person. This means you're the star of the show. There's pressure, but no pressure at all. It's a way to showcase your talent and your skills as an actor, and it highlights all of the choices that you make, which is really important. So in this video, I've written down 5 steps that you can take as an actor to film the perfect monologue. So here are the 5 steps. 1, choosing a monologue. 2, wardrobe/hair and makeup. 3, background or location. 4, framing. And 5, execution. These are the 5 steps that you take as an actor to film the perfect monologue. So number 1 is choosing a monologue. This one's by far one of the most important steps because a monologue is meant to highlight your skills as an actor, but also it should accurately reflect your age range as well. You can't be a 40 or 50-year-old person doing a monologue meant for a 10-year-old kid. It should make sense to who you are. Of course, you can film multiple monologues, but if you want to have one strong monologue, it should show your range as an actor. So that means you could be really upset and angry at the beginning of the scene and then really happy and kind of funny at the end of the scene. I'm gonna list some monologues in the description box below. Another thing you need to consider when you're choosing a monologue is length. Some monologues could be 5 minutes long, which is great, but no one's gonna want to sit and watch a 5-minute long monologue unless it's in a movie. And even then, some people don't even want to see that. Choose a monologue, and if it's long, you can take out a sentence or a big chunk, as long as it still makes sense to the scene. And I usually condense my monologues to at most a minute long. And most importantly, the monologue should be fun for you to perform. You should enjoy it and also reflect you. Because regardless if you're playing a character or not for the monologue, you are the one performing it. Which brings us into wardrobe/hair and makeup. Now let's say I'm doing a monologue where I'm playing a student. So now I'm dressed up as a student. Now I can do a scene where I'm presenting in front of a class, taking notes, talking to another student, talking to my teacher, whatever makes sense. Or if I wanted to dress up as a party girl. Now, this is probably what I would wear to a party. It's a cute little top, there's a little bit of glitter in there, and I have a bag just in case. But if I did have to suggest a specific wardrobe option for your monologue, it would be a solid color t-shirt or a tank top in whatever color that suits you. Now, getting into hair and makeup, the most important thing with hair is that just have it how you always have it, okay? The number one thing you need to know though is keep it out of your face. We want to see this, okay? But when it comes to makeup, what you need to know is do your makeup in a way that doesn't distract the viewers from anything else. So I always have my makeup natural. The most important thing an actor can have is powder or blotting paper or a tissue to blot the oil. The main spots I always put my powder is always right here under my eyes, on my forehead, of course, because we don't want a shiny forehead, my chin, and usually my eyebrows, but I kind of like the little shine today. This camera picks it up really well. The iPhone does not make it look good, and we want to make sure it looks good on the phone. Alright, so the next step in the 5 steps is going to be background/location. Now, with all the trends going on with self-tapes recently, you don't necessarily need a plain background like this one. You can make it fancy by using a backdrop. You could film your monologue outside too, but as you can see, there's a lot to consider, like the sun's hitting me. You can also hear the cars and the birds in the background, so it's not the best for audio. Here's another spot outside that's a little bit more quiet, but you can still hear a bird. You can also film your scene in the car, but you do have to make sure that you can't really hear anything else outside, and make sure that there's no one walking outside here either. Me personally, I'm always gonna love my trusty wall. And traditionally, they usually will always recommend you use a backdrop or a plain background. It's more professional that way. But if you want to use this monologue for your reel, for example, you could use a background or be in a specific location that fits the scene. In my opinion, if you're going to submit this monologue for an agent to see, it would be best to use a plain backdrop and dress in a way that makes you the most confident. Now, the next step is framing. What's important about when framing for a self-tape or a monologue is you don't want a lot of headspace like I have in this video. It should look like this. But that also doesn't mean you have to stay standing still in one spot. You could always walk into a scene or walk out, start here, start there. But you should usually end up in the middle and with less headroom. Now, if you don't have a tripod like I have here, you could always just stand your phone against something or tape your phone on a wall or whatever just to get the right framing. The next step, which is the last step, is going to be step number 5, which is execution. Now, a lot of people will perform a monologue as if it's a speech that they're just saying randomly, right? But that's not what it is. Someone had said something to you and the monologue is your response to them. So you do need to talk to them as if you're responding to them. Another thing when it comes to performing a monologue is that you're not supposed to just say the lines, okay? Humans, like how I'm talking right now, I'm taking a breath before I speak, or I'm thinking while I'm speaking to think of what I'm gonna say next, right? You need to show your thought process when you're performing a monologue. It can't just be, hi, my name is Shino Nakamichi, I'm 19 years old and I live in Los Angeles, California. With monologue, it's pretty hard because one, you're not waiting to hear a person's response to you, and it's a long chunk that you have to memorize. So usually when you're performing it, you're just thinking, oh, what am I gonna say next? What's my next line? That's not how it should be though. When you're performing a monologue, you need to think about the thoughts that this character is having, that you are having. You know, if the monologue is, Mom, can I please keep my dog? Think of something that you've always wanted to keep in your life that someone took away from you, you know? Or, oh my God, I really want a dog. Like, please, can we keep this dog? You should have an internal monologue going on when you're performing your monologue. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, feel free to ask questions in the comments. Another thing when it comes to monologues is, let's say you're doing an intense moment where you're meant to be throwing things around. Don't let the action distract the viewers from your performance. Okay, again, the monologue is to highlight your skills as an actor, the choices that you make, the emotions that you feel, the thoughts that you're having. So when you're doing the monologue, make sure it also highlights the intense moments that you are having with the person that you're conversing with. Or if it's not intense, you know, it could be comedic. Just, it should show the tension that you are able to have with someone that probably isn't there. Anyways, that's all I have to say for today. I hope this video helped. If you have any other questions or any other video suggestions, feel free to comment down below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, subscribe, share, follow me on my socials, whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!